Shalom, shalom. Kal halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to our apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. And shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,000 and 1/3. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households as we approach the end, the tail end of this kingdom. Okay, we are on the verge of 2026, and greater things are going to happen. As Elder Bishop Tizaya 1 would say in the spirit power of Yahweh Bashem Shai, we are living in exciting times, and indeed we are. Now, just before I jump off, I mean, before we get started, let me just. Okay, so fair use is a term used in America for criticism with regards to copyright and works, and criticizing this, that, and the third, right? So in the UK, it'd be fair dealing. Okay, so fair dealing or fair use, either or. Okay, so fair use, just to get that done and out of the way, right? Now, we live in a world where, okay, faith, because for the most part, me being a 70s baby, excuse me for clearing my throat, okay, it's winter, autumn stroke winter, approaching in the UK, so weather change and all that, plus these damn demons jump on you every time you try and make a video as well, interrupting your speech. Nevertheless, we are living in a world where faith and belief in the Most High, even before I knew the truth, I always believed in a higher power. I believed in, repercussions for evil works that you will suffer, in the next life, because, Jake, especially from the eastern part of the hemisphere, we do, but that's biblical anyway. Hence the reason why you see individuals born with blemishes and issues, and paraplegics, and in wheelchairs, and 2 heads and 3 arms and all that kind of shit, right? I always believed in that, but now we're in a world where Jake is saying that stand on your own too. You don't have to rely on a god. People like Polite, you know what happened to him, the wannabe Hamite, the Crip. That's another example of a Crip. Okay, and we got another example that's yet to be set very soon. Okay, and he's experiencing certain things, the peg master, and he's going to get his just dues along with his ex-crew and other cohorts like them. All right, heathens and non-heathens. Okay, we got people in this world like Polite. They used to say Sky Daddy, called the Most High Sky Daddy, and wouldn't believe in, did not believe that the Lord's going to return, and the Lord is a so-called black man. So we're in a world where, okay, for the unelect and the heathen, faith is not there anymore. All right, we don't care about the heathen, but for Jake, the unelected 2/3, especially in America, and the unelect, all right, the 2/3 are in America, but the unelect also around the world, okay, that haven't been blessed with this truth. Yahweh Shemeshah has not chosen them, pursuant to the book of John 15 and 16, right? Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, right? Those people, all right, don't believe, okay, unless the Lord wants going to pull them out of that nonsense and make them believe. But there's a lot of people that don't believe anymore. So a lot of people are believing, and plus Esau doing his demonic black magic prayers, and sending out these wave, what do you call them? These vibrations, in the air, because Satan is a prince of the power of the air, right? Okay, which make you think adversely. They make women think they're men, and men think they're women, and make them into faggots and dykes and shit. Make people hear things that they're not hearing, make people think, go crazy. A lot of people don't believe in the Most High or His Son. They don't believe. All right, they believe this world is going to carry on, and they believe, especially Gen Z, the youngsters, they are just born with a mobile phone in their hand. This is their world, and a lot of them are going to be enticed. Okay, and I found a video from about 5 years ago. Okay, and it's about an individual, an Edomite, that goes and gets the charagma, the CHIP, and they show a whole number of Edomites getting CHIPs. Okay, and a lot of them are sort of alluding to having superpowers or powers, making life easier. This is the future. This is the way, so you better jump on that train, you know, because this is the only way it's going to be. It's not going to be, you know, cash money and holding wads of cash to your ear. It's not going to be like that anymore. Okay, it's going to be, it's going to be beep, beep, beep. It's going to be, a swipe of your hand, you know, or the or that infrared thing, whatever you call it, the scanning thing is going to be run across your forehead. That's how it's going to be. That's the future, and they're going to entice you in various ways. Okay, and also the host, usually that's introducing these kinds of things, is usually a guinea pig as well. They will utilize themselves, whether they do it really or is it just CGI, because Esau might let you know about what kind of AI they have, and AI can be you can easily tell by your eyes that this is AI. But Esau is only letting you know what kind of, they're only giving you that basic level of artificial intelligence, to use for your general folk out there to make, skits and all that, and, show a baby cutting hair or a baby talking like a regular adult, all that kind of stuff, or a baby singing, They've given you certain technology, but what they've got behind closed doors is way, 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 way amazing. All right, because they've got them Iron Man suits, but what they're going to show you on camera on the news is going to be some basic shit. And when you look at it, you think, it's going to take them another 100 years, or people of the world say it's going to take them another 100 years to get to that, Tony Stark Iron Man level, whatever. But they've got that shit. All right, so what they give you is old technology. What they've got behind closed doors is that major shit. All right. All right. Let's just go to the video first. All right. Let me read the scriptures first. Okay. It's a 7-minute video. All right. Let's go to Revelation 13:16. All right. No, but let's go to 15 first. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's the doctrine of the left hand side. Okay, and as well as the technology. All right, or technocracy. All right, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, which is a charagma. You go to the blue letter in the Greek, in their right hand or in their foreheads, which is an insertion or cutting or etching into the flesh, or a stamp of servitude. Okay? Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay? All right? How are you going to buy and sell? Okay? What are you currently using today? Right now you've got a little bit of a choice, but those choices, those options are being slowly taken away. If you look at it, okay, it's like a table of food. You got sandwiches, you got chicken, you got lamb, you got potatoes, you got salad and all that, right? And slowly what they're doing is they're taking away the lamb and they're putting pork there. Your back is turned, they're taking away the lamb, put pork there. They're taking away the potatoes, they put GMO potatoes there. They're taking away the salad, they put GMO salad there. This is what they're doing. They're taking away, I'm trying to give an analogy there, but hope you understand. What they're doing is slowly but surely they're taking away your so-called freedoms and your options, slowly but surely. Okay, getting rid of change, getting rid of large denomination of notes, certain checkout points at certain stores and supermarkets, physical ones, will say, okay, there's only two, there'll be only 2 human cashiers, and there'll be like 50 people lined up, and it'll be mainly the older generation that want to speak to a human because they're retired, they don't their children don't come and see them, so they want some human contact, and they want to pay with cash because they're not so tech savvy. But the youngsters will be going to the ones that you self checkout, will be going there and using their Apple Pay, their debit cards, their credit cards, and certain, In certain cases, they have a self checkout, which will be just the one where you can use cash. So they're trying to make it more. They're making it less convenient with cash and trying to push more of the scanning, more of the click, more of the beep, more of the beep. And what they're going to do next is now they're pushing the digital wallet, which is going to be in your phone. But next, they're going to pull out a situation because the phone isn't foolproof. And they're going to say, okay, the phone is not foolproof. So you've got to take the technology in your hand. And obviously, at the same time, they're going to crash the economy as well. So there's going to be a major situation where they're going to say, okay, shit, this is the only way out of this one. So you have to take it. Because right now, they're giving you the option, right? But when they actually do what they've got to do, right? When these scenarios play out, the ones that they show in movies, right? Like movies like The Fifth Wave and all that, where everything's hunky dory and during the day, and that, and later on the whole world is turned upside down. Okay, if you watch the movie Fifth Wave, that's how it's going to be when things pop off. You're going to watch the news, wake up one morning, sipping your coffee. You're going to watch the news. Oh, the economy has crashed or whatever. It's going to go in that direction. Okay, so the mark of the beast is the CHIP, the RF to the I to the D, the rice grain, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay. Okay, and here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And what did the Lord say? The Lord say that Satan, paraphrasing scripture, will be like an angel of light. And to certain people, this will be like an angelic light. This will be like their light at the end of the tunnel. They think, oh, we can do this. My children can be safe. My animals can be safe. I know where they are. I can track them. They can pull out many scenarios. They might put on the news 100 children got kidnapped over the space of 6 months in all the so-called posh, so-called white man areas, Edomite areas. Then they might say 200 children got taken from the reservation and the barrios and the hoods or whatever in the space of 2 months or something. They'll probably use AI. They'll probably use some real children at the same time, put it on the news. People will be shit scared. They'll chip their children. They'll chip themselves because they want to be, if their children are CHIP, they're going to say, okay, you know what? My children are, I'm going to take it too. So there'll be that safety factor. There'll also be dementia as well and elderly folk to keep track of them. All right. They're going to CHIP them. Then they're going to be the enticement of the paraplegics and the quadriplegics and people in wheelchairs, people that are feeble. They're going to say, okay, give it to them. They're going to be enticed. Okay, then obviously the economy crash, buying, selling, optimism, happiness, trying to find their way in this world again, especially people that have fallen off, especially the so-called white man and the heathen, okay, and the 2/3 that want to, and the unelect jakes that want to stay in this world. This is going to be like their light at the end of the tunnel. But, let me just read that scripture, Satan coming as an angel of light, yeah? Satan, angel of light, King James Version. 2 Corinthians 11:14, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Okay? All right, so for some people, this will be like a miracle or an answer to their demonic prayers, when that time comes. Now, by the way, once again, this is the channel Freethink, all right? And it says here, I got a CHIP implanted in a biohacking garage. All right. What is biohacking? Biohacking is a loose term to describe unconventional, experimental biotechnology, often conducted outside traditional research environments and sometimes using everyday items or recycled equipment. All right. Now, this ain't biohacking. This shit would be illegal, right? You know that the powers that be know about what they're doing, and they're probably being funded anyway, but they're trying to make it look like it's biohacking, like they're going against the grain. Okay, and it's all mainly a bunch of weirdo Edomites when you look at them. Let's go. Excuse me.
Cyborgs remind us of characters that are futuristic in fantasy.
He's more machine than man.
But in reality, we're all basically cyborgs. From glasses to smartwatches, we wear and carry and attach a lot of things that supplement or enhance our body's abilities. But there's a growing movement of people who are...
So basically, you got to look at the wording. Okay, this is a script. They're basically saying that you're using these things anyway, so why not take it a step further? Okay, like some people would call like some people would call certain chemicals a gateway drug. Okay, they're saying, okay, you're doing this anyway, so why not take it a step further and make your life a lot easier, all right? And a lot of you youngsters, you Gen Zs, are going to fall into this trap. Not all of you, all right, but most of you.
We're taking that integration to the next level by implanting everything from magnets to Wi-Fi routers in their bodies. This isn't the kind of by implanting everything from magnets to Wi-Fi routers in their bodies. This isn't the kind of thing that you can just do at your doctor's office. So they've come up with their own unofficial and surprising ways to get it done. We went and visited one of the most renowned hacker
And by the way, this is from 5 years ago, by the way, all right?
surgeons in the country who performs these procedures in his garage. Now, surgery in someone's garage may sound really cool or really scary, but this is the bleeding edge of body and tech integration, and it's becoming more and more mainstream.
Jeff, where the fuck are the screws? They should be sitting on the gray case up there to your left, on the sensory depth chamber.
This is Jeffrey Tibbetts. He goes by Kessex online. By day, he's a registered nurse, but at home, in his garage, he's a hacker surgeon. This is all biohacking. It's a movement of citizen scientists who are experimenting on their own bodies outside of the traditional lab space. It can take the form of tech implants or self-administering untested medicine or trying to unlock the code of living forever. But Jeffrey identifies as a grinder. Grinding is a subset of the larger biohacking community, which mostly focuses on body modifications and tech implants, like computer chips in people's hands, LED lights in arms, magnets in fingertips, and Bluetooth teeth. Computer chips in people's hands, LED light focuses on body modifications and tech implants, like computer chips in people's hands, LED lights in arms, magnets in fingertips, and Bluetooth teeth. Really anything to enhance or change the body's functionality.
There's so much variety in terms of what people bring to the community. It's not just people that are like have like more of a medical background. It's not people who have a biology background. You know, it's like, yeah, we have those people. We also have engineers. We have chemists and material engineers.
We're playing. We got a new game, Jeff. It's called "Steal the Magnet from Your Friend's Magnet Implant."
Oh shit, it's mine now.
I describe myself as a cyborg biohacker, transhumanist. My implants, I had 26 before I arrived here today, and now I have.
Now look at the lady. Look at the, if you want to call her a lady, Anastasia Sin. That's her name. She's a cyborg magician. Okay, so you got a bunch of weirdos. I mean, they're Edomites anyway, so for the most part, I would say. All right. And so she look at the numbers they're throwing up. She had 26 before. She says now I have 33. Her name's Anastasia Sin, and now I have 33. See, you got to watch what they're saying as well. All right. All these Masonic type numbers on the left hand side.
33? Am I doing my math right? 33. I have 33 implants.
Anastasia Sin uses her implants for magic.
Anastasia Sin!
We met her at Jeffrey's where she was getting 7 implants. Biohacking exists in a medical and legal gray area, which means it's truly an underground movement. But the community feels like they should have the right and ability to accept that inherent risk and change or modify their bodies how they want. And that's exactly what they do. It just ends up in places like Jeffrey's garage.
I can't go to a hospital to get these implants done, and I do have to come to my friend's garage, which is probably the coolest garage for making implants a thing that you'll ever see in your life. He's a skilled practitioner in what he's doing, and he's a good friend of mine.
If you find yourself having a hard time taking this seriously, think about this. We already merge our bodies and technology in a lot of ways. We've just gotten used to it in certain instances. Consider the pacemaker. In an early version of the device,
Okay, so now they're showing you how it can help you, the different various ways. These chips can be used in different parts of the body to enhance you, enhance your life, to give you some kind of superpower, turning lights on and off, you know, um, especially those that are into these Comic Con type things. A lot of those weirdos are going to be thinking, okay, because Esau is not going to get no spiritual power. All right, the heathens are not. Okay, and they and Jake and Israelites who don't know who they are, they don't know they don't know who they are. They don't believe. They're going to gravitate towards this, and they're going to push it in that instance where it's a cool thing to have. It's only going to help you. They're not going to talk about the negative aspects. But now also what they're going to do is also touch on the fact that, oh, we've already been putting things in our body that are we'll already be putting foreign objects in our body like pacemakers and things of that nature. So they're going to try and say, okay, we've already been putting metal objects or uh, those types of technologies in our bodies anyway. So why not just go with this also? It's the same thing, isn't it? As a pacemaker, right? It's the same thing, isn't it? They're gonna say that, you know. So a person who's got his leg chopped off in war or whatever, they're gonna say, okay, he's got an artificial leg, he's got like a metal rod in his leg, so why not with a CHIP? They're gonna give you all these angles to try and appease your mind, thinking that it's not wrong. All right.
We've just gotten used to it in certain instances. Consider the pacemaker. An early version of the device revived a stillborn child in the 1920s. It was a miracle back then, but
they're going to say that the CHIP can prolong life. And if things can prolong life and keep you safe, what are people actually going to do? They're going to say, shit, they can give me another 20, 30 years. I can watch my great-grandchildren grow up. People's minds will be pushed in that direction. They'll be enticed. Okay? All right? The same way Eve was enticed, the whole world will be enticed. The heathens and the people and the Jakes that are not chosen.
it was new and people felt weird about reviving the dead, so research stopped. But over time, public perception shifted. In 1958, the first person was implanted with a pacemaker. He went on to live another 43 years.
Okay? And they're going to use, they could use any other word but implanted. All right? All right? But they're going to keep using that term implanted for things that help you and save your life. And then they're going to keep using that term implant when it comes to the CHIP as well. They can use other terms, but they want to use that one. Why? So it all comes together. Think of that. You know what? There's nothing wrong with nothing wrong with taking the chip. All right. They could have said, "Oh yeah, we've inserted or we had to place the pacemaker in the patient." They didn't have to say implanted, right? They could have said, but they use that term implanted. So if a pacemaker can enhance and save lives, so can the chip. Now, they're showing that how it can, revive the dead and prolong life. Now let's watch this again. Yeah, check this out.
Reviving the dead. So research stopped. But over time, public perception shifted. In 1958, the first person was implanted with a pacemaker. He went on to live another 43 years.
He went to live on another 43 years. 43 years. All right? 43 years, damn near 4.5 decades. All right? So a lot of people are going to say, oh, I can grow old with my wife. I can, I can see my grandchildren grow up. I can see my grandchildren have children, I can experience more life with my family. I can enjoy my retirement. People are going to think about that. They're old and how they're going to enjoy their money, whatever money they have. Not that Esau's going to let you enjoy it, but that's what they're going to assume. Okay? And people are going to think like that. I can get more out of life. And with this world always pushing, oh, we only have one life to live and we're going to live our best life and all that bullshit. So people are going to jump to this, man. Okay? You got to watch these words, what these motherfuckers say, man. All right?
Years. Today, we don't even think twice about having a pacemaker. It goes to show that our integration with tech is evolving and always incomplete. Biohackers as we know them are now basically playing around in the lab to see what they can come up with next. And while magnet implants or Bluetooth teeth really aren't on the same scale or as life-saving as a pacemaker, these implants are just a stepping stone in this ever-changing landscape. And I thought that was pretty cool. Reporting on the story and watching Jeffrey in his garage really got me curious to know what it was like to get one of these implants. So I decided to jump in the lab with them.
All right, so this is what I'm talking about. The living here is pretty much the most common place for people to get it. Okay.
So I did some quick research and landed on this NFC chip, which means near field communication. It means the chip can send and receive information.
It looks like a pretty big deal.
The chip itself is inside of a capsule and gets injected underneath the skin through a hollow needle. The swelling goes down in just a couple days and you're good to go. So I really wasn't sure what I could do with the chip once I got it. Chip Implants 101 seems like a good place to start. So I did some research and found that there's a couple everyday things I could do with it, like open a front door, unlock my car, or unlock my computer. But for me,
I want to say that this is from 5 years ago, by the way. All right. Okay. So obviously they're more enhanced now, and we've seen Elon Musk be quite successful with a Neuralink in the States and in the UK. All right. And the digital wallet is being pushed. And 2026 year is going to be 2026 is going to be the 250th year of America from 1776. And most heathen kingdoms do not last more than 250 years. You know, it's around about 250 or a little bit more, I believe. That's what Elder Apostle Tar or our elders and prophets said, man. Great millstone, the men of the Lord, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yashai. All right. So it's going to be a very, very crucial year next year, man. Lord willing. Hey, man, the Lord could return next year. Lord willing. Yahweh Shem Yashai Ratizah, man. Abba Ratizah. Yahweh Ratizah, you know.
the most useful thing is working with my iPhone. I can scan it and share my contact info, open a website, or share a social network. I even programmed it to FaceTime my mom. Hey, Mom.
How are you? So weird.
Surprisingly, she wasn't really freaked out by my implant.
Well, I can keep it on that you can FaceTime your mother. I'm okay with it.
Does this make me a grinder biohacker now?
I don't know. How do you find it?
This is just my first one.
Yeah, okay. Let's get some more.
Yeah. Jeffrey's work culminates every year with Grindfest, where dozens of biohackers from all over come to Jeffrey's home and test out the latest technology and try out some new implants.
You know, it's the most incredible thing. More information on our fingertips than ever before, and more people who have no idea how to utilize it than ever before. That's why we're such a teaching community. People come in and, you know, they think, oh, no, I could just do this and put it in hot glue, or I could do this. And it's like, no, you can't, and let us tell you why.
We just try lots of new things. New discoveries are made, and last Grindfest we were doing B12 shots on each other, cattle B12 shots. I mean, they give it to cows. It's got to be okay for people. I mean, you shouldn't just, you know, get drunk and play Scrabble or sing karaoke. You should get drunk and, like, you know, inject yourself with some B12. It'll probably help you the next day.
Most people won't be rushing out to do that, but that's the fundamental idea here. They're pushing at the edges of our perception of what we should and shouldn't do with our bodies, and they're learning a lot in that process.
We one by one made all of the mistakes on the way, you know? And so it's like, no, everything else is easy. We don't have to keep making mistakes. And we can prey upon all of the low-hanging fruit, stuff that's already been done and researched by people in the medical field. A lot of the stuff that's really cool and then just brought to a slightly, you know, different level. No, that's my take.
Yeah.
That's about what I got.
Cool. That's
so cool.
I know, but it was fine.
Yeah. And if you're familiar with the show from the 70s, the $6 Million Man, and I also believe Bionic Woman. And I think they got a new show of Bionic Woman as well. You know, enhancing your body, having superpowers. You know, pushing robotoids, cyborgs. You know, able to leap over walls, and you know, maybe that they might even have the technology where you can fly. I don't know. They've got all sorts of shit up their sleeves, man. Okay. But the elect don't have to worry, because the elect are covered with Yahweh Hashem Yeshai's wings, and the Lord said that his elect, right, will, paraphrasing scripture, will eat. Okay? So when that time comes and society falls and you're pushed into a corner, you don't have to worry, because Yahweh Hashem Yeshai's got you. All right? Matthew 6:25, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? All right, raiment is clothing. Okay. Okay, the Lord says, verse 26, behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Okay, and we're the chosen, all right? We're the chosen, all right, and it's the Israelites. But then you have the elect that are the chosen on this side that are going to make it through the straight gate. Okay, 2/3 of our people are going to die in America. Then you got the unelect amount that are around the world as well. Okay, so the Lord is saying, the fowls of the air, the birds, and all that kind of thing, they don't sow, they don't reap, right? But the Lord provides food for them. You know, I'll give you a perfect example. It's all spiritual. The Lord doesn't waste anything. Okay, it could be somebody sitting on a park bench, a child, lunchtime, messing around with his friends, having his lunch his mother packed for him. It could be a chicken and salad sandwich. He ate most of it. You got some chicken pieces, some salad pieces left in there, and you got the edges and the crust of the bread that might be left on the park bench or on the floor. Okay, the birds swoop down and eat it, right? Or it could be a tuna, whatever, right? Or a cheese sandwich. That's an example there. Then you got worms and other things. I'm not an expert on what birds eat, but you know what I mean, right? The Lord provides a way. It's a cycle of life that continues. Yahweh Hashem has created that way so everything can thrive and survive. But in this world, Esau's putting roadblocks in front of everything. So you have to rely on that piece of shit, Esau, to provide you ways so you can sustain yourself. All right. So the Esau is going to put in roadblocks where you can't able to eat or drink or survive. Put you in a corner where you go take the CHIP, but the elect are not going to take it. All right, because they've been chosen from the foundations of the earth. So you shouldn't worry, okay? Because the elect, okay, their faith is growing and they're getting stronger spiritually, and in certain cases physically also. Hebrews 11 verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The elect have faith, okay? So these are just the many ways Esau is going to try and entice you through videos, through movies, through technology, through music, okay? And these demonic vibrations that they're pushing out there, so they're going to affect who they're going to affect, but the elect are going to be covered. All right, but the rest of the world is going to fall into the traps and snares of the devil, the jinns of the devil. All right, the deceiver. All right, more enticements. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Rakak. So 2026 is going to be a crucial year. Lord willing, we're not here too long. All right. Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahshai, Ba'ashem Rakak. Mawatha Bad Babal, Kwam Yashrala, Shalom.